Yo, bro, let's go over the plays today, what we did today, bro. Like, you and I need to be cashing out. And if we're not cashing out, at least learn from my mistakes, dog. Today is April 27th, 2026. And this is just today. We're down only 1.5%, but whatever. So let's check out what we actually have in the portfolio. So on the option side of things, we have a few option contracts that are going to expire this week, Friday. We sold a covered call on Coca Cola for the $77 strike price. We also are selling a covered call on SoFi at the $20 strike price. And I also sold another covered call in the money at the $18 strike price. We have a AT&T covered call ends this week, and then for next week's we have Coca Cola at the 78, and then we bought a naked put. I'm gonna go over all the option plays, why I did them, all of that with you guys. If you stick to the end of this video, you will learn how to make premium. You will learn how to make weekly residual income. Okay, here's my holdings. Here are the companies that I have: Bank of America, Coca-Cola, SPY, Lowe's, Caterpillar, Nvidia, Netflix, Google, SoFi. Now, I know there's going to be haters in the comments. They're going to be like, bro, you're only up like $3. Bro is only showing $10. Perfect, cool. I'm talking to those who have little to less money in your account. If you have $500, if you have $1,000, if you have $5,000, that you still can be a market participant. And as long as you continue being a market participant and you're starting out the journey slowly with some habits and discipline, this is, yeah, it's only a couple bucks. But the YouTube journey that I started this is November 13th. So whatever I invested from November 13th till now, it's up. So you gotta think about it. If you have a little less money and your money's just sitting in your savings account, checking account, not doing anything, why not buy fractional shares and see if your dollars can make a couple more dollars? Here's what we got left: Western Digital, AT&T, and Mo. Everything else above here are like long-term plays. Everything below are weekly or bi-weekly fast plays. Not really fast, but it's not for the long term. For example, the 200 shares I have here of SoFi, I did 2 covered calls on each of them that expire this week. So here's my position. I have 200 shares, average cost at 1960. Keep that in your mind. 1960. 1916. Keep that in your mind. 1916. The first covered call, remember guys, it was a strike price of 20. I got a $40 credit for putting my 100 shares up for sale at the $20 strike price level. At this Friday, May 1st, if SoFi ends above $20, I am obligated and forced to sell my 100 shares. $20 minus 1916 is 84, 0.84. 0.84 times 100 is $84. So if I'm forced to sell my 100 shares at the end of this Friday, I would make $84 on the appreciation, and then I would make another $40 on the average credit. So in total, if I sell out of this, I would be making $100 plus. Now, let's say SoFi stays at this price, $18.91 on May 1st. It doesn't go to $20. Guess what? I get to keep my 100 shares, and I get to keep this $40 credit, and I get to do it all over again. Here's the other one. I sold it in the money. Most people aren't going to do this, but I like doing this if I want to get out of the stock. So I sold it in the money, meaning that I have the stock and the option price that I chose is lower than where the actual stock is. The stock is at 18, my strike, or 18.91, my strike price is $18. So I sold it in the money. So there's a high chance that I will probably get my contract assigned. Cool. But for doing so, I got a 138 credit, meaning I got $138 for doing so. So if you add 1.38 to the $18 strike price, we get 1938 right here. 1938 minus 1916 is 22. So on this contract, if SoFi stays above $18, I would only be making $22, right? Only be making $22. But the great thing about it is if you have a small account and you don't want your money sitting out for too long, I can do this, get out of my positions, and make money. And the great thing with this share is, or this play, I picked up another 100 shares of SoFi today, and I just did this covered call today, Monday, meaning that in 5 days, if SoFi stays above, I would be making $22. It's not bad. It's like $4 a day. And I'm not doing anything. It's whatever the market decides to do, right? So, and people again are gonna hate, like, oh, you're making $4 a day. Yeah, $4 a day in comparison to the account size that I have, or at least the account size that I'm showing you guys, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, that is that play. We have other ones. Next stock here is AT&T. As you guys can see, I'm down $74 on my AT&T position. I'm in AT&T for this week because there's ex-dividend. So ex-dividend is this Friday. And if you don't know what ex-dividend date is, give me a second to explain. So the ex-dividend date is one of the most important dates in dividend investing. It determines whether you get paid or not, right? The ex-dividend date is the cutoff date. If you buy a stock on or after this date, you will not receive the dividend. If you buy before this date, you will receive the dividend. So I have 125 shares of AT&T. AT&T pays around, here's AT&T's last dividends payout. So in February this year, they paid about 27 cents. They've been consistent up amongst the years and time. This can turn into a bad play if I let it happen. Why? Because I'm down on this, on the actual shares, but I'm up on my contracts. First contract here is a $25 strike price covered call on AT&T. So what did I do? I bought my shares and I sold the contract in the money. I got $129 for doing so. I got a $129 credit. So if AT&T at the end of this expiration this Friday is above it's above $25, it's as if I sold it for $26.29. Right now, if I want to buy out this contract, I would be up the $60. But I'm gonna wait till the contract expires May 1st. Why? It's because if I bought the share on the date or after, I don't get the dividend. But if I have the share on the day, I get the dividend. So I can literally get out of this position, get out of it, and still receive the dividend and, hedge myself into this. So at the end of the expiration, if AT&T is above $25, cool. I still had AT&T for ex-dividend. I collected premium. And if I really want to, I have a put. I have a put on AT&T that expires September. So I have a lot of time on this put. This put is it's the $26 strike price put that I have. So if AT&T drops and it drops, right? It drops below $25. I'm not assigned, right? I have this put here to help protect me. If the stock drops really fast, I can sell my shares back to the stock market at the $26 strike price that I bought my put at, or I can just collect the premium. So I'm up $16 here. I'm up another $60 on the other contract. And I'm down $74 here, but I'm up $76 there. So if I really wanted to, I can close out these positions, and I would be up $2. Like, how do you make money and the stock market is down? Like, that's what we need to learn. That's what we need to get on to, guys.